And for more context, we'd like to welcome Christine Dennison. She's a co-founder and president of Mad Dog Expeditions. And we really appreciate you weighing in, Christine. So if this crew, if they're floating on the surface or they're still underwater, can you highlight the conditions they're facing and what types of supplies may be on board that could potentially help?
Hi, thank you for having me. First of all, I have not been on the submersible, so there is some speculation, but I certainly do understand the conditions that they're in, the work that they're doing, and how difficult this operation is at this moment in time. The conditions are obviously very tight. We know it's a 21-foot sub. We understand there are five tourists and there are 5 men, different sizes. That all plays into physiology of how they're breathing, if they're panicking. I assume that they have some snacks with them, cameras. On an expedition like this, you would have a camera as much as you could take to chronicle such a momentous expedition for them. And above all, it's also at depth, it's dark. If they have lost or had a failure, a power failure, they are in the dark. They are cold. They are, I'm sure, frightened, and they are trying to remain calm and go through a process which none of us really ever want to find ourselves in, which is understanding what the ultimate outcome could be. The other scenario is that sadly they may have perished, that this may have imploded, in which case it makes this looking for this sub even that much harder, because we have so little information and it's trickling out, and we're looking at timelines of trying to create and recreate a scenario that is still not quite clear as to why certain things seem to have been done.
Certainly. And Christine, these remote operated vehicles appear to be the best chance of recovery in a power failure situation. Can you explain why and just the intricacies of what it would take to pull this sub to the surface, if they can in fact locate it?
Yes. Well, it should have a pinger. And much like black boxes on a plane, this is not a data collection, it's a pinger. So sonar would be able to pick it up. The ROVs are remote operated vehicles that, unfortunately, from the press conference, we didn't gather what capability the machines that they have on site are doing. And that really has to do with payloads. Every ROV has different payloads. They can go to different depths. They have cameras, they have sonar. So not knowing what the ability of this particular set of robots can do, it could be very limiting. What you need is a robot that can go down to 4,000 meters, that will pick up a ping, assuming they are at depth, and be able to actually track that ping to a location, which then they have to continue the effort to get to that location. And then you get a whole host of other intricacies involving, are they entangled in debris? Are they at the bottom of the ocean? Exactly where. This is all very, very complex, and without the right robotics,
right,
it's looking for a needle in a haystack.
Well, absolutely. And I think that if you find the needle in the haystack and they are trapped in a debris field of the Titanic, perhaps, what are the specific challenges they're facing? How do you reach the vessel then?
I've worked with ROVs. We happen to own one with our company, and it doesn't have that capability. But in working with them, what you have to assess the situation, and then again, as I mentioned, you apply the payloads. What you would want in this case, if you can locate the sub, if it happens to be entangled, you will put a robotic arm on your ROV. The idea and the best case scenario is that you can find it, and that you can reach it, and that you can attach a cable to it to bring it out. If it's entangled, it requires a much more delicate operation and a series of mechanisms on the ROV, such as arms, that could detangle, that could unwind. It's very complicated, and we're not there yet. The first thing is to pick up a ping.
Well, and it's certainly so many challenges with just bringing something that heavy to the surface. Not only finding it, that of course is the first order of business. So Christine Dennison, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your insight on this topic.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.